Welcome back to another episode of the OKC Foodcast, your guide to the food in Oklahoma. You're joined by your hosts, as always, Nabil
and Ashley.
And we've got two very special guests with us. You might recognize their names.
Yeah, we're so excited. Thank you so much, Molly and Elise with Hall's Pizza, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Yeah, I'm so excited to dive into everything Hall's Pizza.
You know, it's been almost a year with the podcast.
Dream come true.
Yeah. It's been almost a year, and we're like, we haven't had any pizza places.
Yeah, and we've talked about Hall's so many times. Yeah, so... We're like,
totally this has to be our first one.
Right? Yeah.
Wow. Big honor.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on.
So before we dive into Hall's Pizza Kitchen, let's talk about our Eat of the Week.
Let's do it.
All right. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I can start off. Right. My Eat of the Week was chicken tortilla soup.
Nice.
One of our friends had us over to their house, and she made soup. And last time we were there, she made a squash or pumpkin soup. I can't remember, but it was really good. Mm-hmm. And the chicken tortilla soup was no different. Nice. Super good. She's like, "Hey, do you want me to make you a bowl?" And so she like put in the chicken soup.
To go or
no, like because we were playing games and eating food.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we do. We're like, "You guys want to play some games?" Yeah. And I have soup.
Nice.
We're like, food and games done. And so that's what we did, and we ate and we played, and it was fantastic. So shout out to Nikki and Joe for that excellent soup and the game.
Awesome. All right, well, I will go next. That sounds really good. I make chicken tortilla soup. I make like a lot of vegetables in mine, like very veggie heavy. All right, so my Eat of the Week is going to be, actually, this is really funny since we have Hall's here. It's going to be the wedge.
I don't know if that's allowed.
I know. I ate there for lunch. They do have a cool lunch thing, and since I work in Bricktown, pretty close.
I just hear excuses.
I know.
That's okay. I love the wedge. One of their pizzas is one of my favorites.
Which one?
The prosciutto e formaggi.
Okay.
It's fabulous.
I always get the Napoli or the Napoli.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorites.
I love that one. It's got extra virgin olive oil, pancetta, spiced walnuts, Asiago cheese, rosemary, and arugula. So I did that with it's like a half salad. You do like the small pizza.
Yeah, their lunch special.
Yeah. And, I don't eat lunch at work very often. I'm usually just busy. And my manager was like, we should get some food today. I'm hungry. So
we should actually feed ourselves.
I'm down. So, yeah, it was really good.
Nice.
Yeah. So who wants to go first? Molly, Elise, your Eat of the Week?
Yeah.
Molly? All right.
It's the best thing I've eaten this week.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It's early in the week, so... I was struggling, but if we're
and it can be the last 7 days.
Okay, good, because I was.
It's a rolling week.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, it's Tuesday. I haven't had that much, but no, actually, mine does fit. So Super Bowl Sunday. Went to a couple different Super Bowl parties, and both had really great food. But I went to my parents, and they had. My mom made wings. Nice. I don't even know what kind of wings they were. I showed up late and just ate like half of them, I think. So, but they were really good, and I'm not a wing person, so
awesome.
That was delicious.
I made a buffalo chicken dip
that's
for the Super Bowl party. I've never made that before, but it was good for sure.
Good.
Nice.
All right, what was your Eat of the Week, Elise?
Mine was also from Super Bowl. My mom made a harissa hummus, and the harissa was super fresh. Had a really nice brightness to it. Sometimes harissa can be kind of dry and kind of dull, but it was the brightness of some red wine vinegar, and it was awesome.
Ooh,
and the wings were
delicious.
Really good too, but we couldn't, both say
have
the
the
same
same
thing.
one.
Yeah, so
all the other answers.
I got the hummus, she got the wings.
Right. Y'all are sisters, right?
We are.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. That all sounds really, really good.
It does. Harissa with hummus. That would,
Yeah,
You might see it on a menu coming to you soon. So
I actually in Austin, I forget the name of the pizza place, but they did have a harissa pizza.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
And it was actually so. I like being adventurous. Sometimes I'm like, harissa and pizza, interesting. Let's try it. And it's easy in pizza because you have multiple people and you can share. So I was like, hey guys. we'll share our pizzas. Yeah.
Yeah. How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. All of them were like, "Why are you ordering that?" And then they tried it, and that was actually really good. And I think the guy who lives there went back the next day to get it again.
Nice.
So
must have been good then.
Yeah.
yeah, and I forget everything that was on it. I just remember the
That was
harissa
my
part.
next question. What all was on it?
Yeah, I don't even remember the place. This was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Dang.
Maybe it'll come to me while we talk.
All right. Let's do some research. Okay, well, let's dive into Hall's Pizza Kitchen. So I guess you guys can, take turns and tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, so my name is Molly. We're both from OKC. We have a lot of the same answers as we have clearly established. We'll try and be unique.
Our last name is Hall.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah, so I'm from OKC, so we both grew up here. And I went to, the only time I've really moved out of OKC was to go to school at OU. So, boomer.
Yeah.
Moved to Norman for 4
Okay.
years, if you really call that exotic, and then moved straight back.
Just a little down the road.
Yeah. We spent every weekend in OKC, right? Because this is maybe not very nice, but Norman doesn't have a ton of fun stuff to do, in my
Right.
opinion. And so we would spend every weekend in OKC. And so why wouldn't I come back here?
Yeah.
So, anyways.
All right, cool. And
And
go
I'm
ahead,
Elise, Molly's sister, also from Oklahoma City. Went to school in Edmond at UCO, so that was about as far as I went too.
So you went the other direction.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
Cool. Well, how did your passion for pizza? Both of you can it's a cool story. Tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah. So we grew up in a house that my mom is a really good cook and always has been. And so our passion for food is really from her. I mean, she's the one that makes all of our menus and recipes, and she's the one that makes our food taste great at the restaurant, but then also at home too, whenever we go visit.
More than a passion for food, I think specifically a passion for hospitality. So for caring for people through food, started with both of our parents.
Yeah. So we got started in pizza as a family tradition. When I was about 5 years old, my dad would make pizza on Saturday nights as a way to bless my mom, and so that she didn't have to make dinner on Saturdays.
Ah, that's
And so
cute.
he would make pizza, and then we'd roll out a blanket on the living room floor, and we'd watch TV together. And so that has been since I was 5. So that started a long time ago. And then it just kind of became the thing that whenever we would have friends and family over, pizza was what was most normally, had. And so that's what people would be like, hey, are we having pizza?
Right.
Yes, of course, we're having pizza if you're coming over. And so that's really how we got started. We're not Italian. People always assume if you own a pizza restaurant or if you like pizza, you're probably Italian.
It comes from your roots of Italy.
No. We're from Oklahoma. So we just love pizza and love the tradition from our personal family surrounding pizza.
I
That's
love
awesome.
that story
Yeah.
so much. Did you guys have like a legit pizza oven at your house?
No, we just have regular
regular
kitchen
oven?
oven.
You don't
Yep.
need fancy equipment to make good food.
No,
Right.
not
No,
at all.
you don't.
That's
But
true.
that's, people are nowadays like having
yeah.
those built in their, like, I don't know, the backyard
Back
patios.
like a brick oven
Yeah.
or a wood oven.
And
like, in the
now I
backyard.
kind of want one.
Yeah.
We do too.
So when I had first initially heard that story, I figured you might have had that because now it's a wood-fired pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe that's how they started in like the backyard.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. So that's really cool.
We didn't have a wood-fired oven until we bought our food truck. And so we bought our food truck and then had a wood-fired oven put in it. And literally the first day that we had our first event was when we used the oven for the first time.
Oh gosh.
You're supposed
Really
to,
great at preparing
Was that
food.
like
Yeah.
really scary?
Yeah, you're supposed to cure a wood-fired oven for 2 to 3 days leading up to the first time you use it. So you build a small fire and you get the temperature up to 200 or 300 degrees. And the next day you build a little bit of a bigger fire and you just like gradually increase the temperature so that, because if you build a fire in a fresh oven, it'll crack.
Right.
If you build a really big fire. And so we built a fire, didn't have time to cure the oven like you're supposed to. In fact, my mom, we were telling this story the other day. My mom, we have a laser thermometer to check the temperature of the oven. and it was like at 200 or 300 degrees, and my mom couldn't figure out why it wasn't getting hot. And
This was the afternoon of the rehearsal dinner. We were
we were doing a rehearsal dinner for somebody. And so she's like keeps adding wood to the fire, and the fire is huge, and she's like, it's only 200 or 300 degrees. I don't understand. And then we realized that the thermometer was set on Celsius and not Fahrenheit. So really it was 1,000 degrees in there. But the oven did not crack. It survived.
Yeah.
We still have the same oven in our pizza truck that we did.
That's awesome.
Back in the day.
That is really cool.
So what made that jump from being like, hey, okay, we want to focus on wood fired instead of, any other type of firing a pizza?
Yeah, so my dad saw a food truck in another state that had a wood-fired oven in it, and that's where we originally got the idea. And then I think, so we grew up eating pizza. You said the wedge. I'm like, yeah, I love the wedge.
Yeah.
So we grew up eating pizza all the time since it was a family tradition. So we would eat pizza somewhere, see what we liked, talk about it, go home, try it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our things are just kind of research-based, right? A lot of what's on the menu now. And so we just really enjoyed wood-fired pizza from that. We knew that we preferred that over like deck oven pizza.
Yeah.
But it is really fun now since we started without a wood-fired oven. We do a pizza class. We just started teaching pizza classes or
How
workshops
fun.
at the
I
restaurant.
know. I can't get in those.
Yeah,
I remember.
really fast.
They
I'm sorry.
shocked us. I
I
did
was
not
13
think that
minutes
was going to.
late, and I was just like,
no.
I missed it again.
Yeah, so
We'll do it
we've
again,
done-
don't worry.
We've done 3. We're planning for another one, but got to keep it special. But anyways, that I was shook. So, but yeah, it's fun because we get to talk about tips and tricks for actually cooking pizza at home, since that's really where we started too.
Right,
So it's like, hey, you
right.
don't have to have this oven, like you said. You don't need it to be fancy to have good pizza at home.
Yeah.
So.
But that char you get from the wood fire.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so
well, and
good.
people will say, like, they'll send a pizza back and be like, it's too dark. And we're like, that is a wood-fired oven. You don't say that. You
Right.
say, absolutely, let me get you another one. But it's
Sure,
just
let
funny.
me
'cause-
undercook it for you.
No, I
Yeah,
think
we wanna
that's
say
the
that, but-
best part of it. Those crispy, crunchy spots. I love it. I do want to come back to the pizza classes for sure.
Yeah.
But back to the food truck. So you started the food truck in 2013, right?
For an event. Like
Well-
it started for like, were you like, all right, might as well do this? Or were you like, hey, we're planning this, but this is a good time to launch it?
Yeah, so we started the food truck in 2013 initially as a way to pay for my college. So I had just finished my freshman year at school, and my dad looked at me and said, hey, how are you going to pay for school? And I said, I'll get a couple jobs this summer. I'd already paid for the first year, but I was out of money. And he was like, I don't know that that's going to cut it, but what if we did this food truck? So my dad's very entrepreneurial in nature, and so to him, starting a business every couple of years is like the dream. We've asked him to slow down because we can't keep up. But so this one's got us going. But anyways, and so we started that in 2013 for that reason solely. Was just like, hey, we make pizza all the time. We love hospitality. We're kind of accidentally became known for this as a family. We loved it. So why not try and sell it, right?
Pay for school.
Yeah, exactly. And why not put a wood-fired oven on a food truck in
That drives around.
Oklahoma heat? Yeah, like
That
it
drives
makes,
around.
it makes a lot of sense. And so we went for it that summer, and then we had some family friends who loved the pizza, and so their son was getting married that summer, and they were like, hey, will you do the rehearsal dinner? And we said yes, but then getting the pizza or getting the truck made and built out was a lot slower than we meant. So it ended up being literally we have cement countertops in the food truck, and they had just been poured and they were wet. So we had like towels down making pizzas, and we didn't have electricity. It was really dark. But anyways, it worked out. They are still friends with us, and I hear the pizza was good. I don't think I
They
ate
still
it.
come to our restaurant.
Yeah.
Good.
And so anyways, and so then from there we launched after that, like officially. We had
Nice.
Like
our,
a week or two after.
grand
Once the truck
opening.
was
It
finished.
was like a little
Yeah.
soft opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you need those
was rough.
practice. I wouldn't recommend that again. I wouldn't do that again. But just to anyone listening, if we book an event, we can, we know what we're doing.
You know what you're doing now.
We've had pizza a few times since
Yeah,
then.
we've
The
got our-
oven has been cured. It's not going to
Yeah,
crack.
both. We have 2 ovens now, and they both are good. So, anyways, and then we started, the food truck that summer. And then towards the end of my college career, we kind of all looked at each other and we realized we really enjoyed what we had. We had a product that we felt like people really enjoyed, and we had people that we had never met before and places in the city that we would never have gotten to know. So that was just really fun. And we had a brand, and we looked at each other, and we all had different jobs at the time. So it was just a part-time gig for all of us. I'd gone to college for something completely different. She was doing other stuff. I mean, literally, we were all doing other things and kind of looked at each other and said, hey, let's give it a try. Like, we either need to sell the business or we need to, go in a little bit farther and try our hand at it. And so for us, the restaurant felt like really great growth because of that love for hospitality. So just getting to invite people over to your table, get to hang out with them, get to care for them. And so decided I graduated. And in my mind, I was like, I'll take a year and we'll just kind of take our stab at it and just see, all my friends are making like year-long commitments to different things after college. And I thought that's what I was doing too. It's not what I did. But anyways, and so it kind of sped up really fast. So I graduated in May, and then in August we signed on our spot now. And so we've been open 3 years, almost 3 years in May. Anyway, so kind of really natural. I feel like if you would have asked me 6 years ago, and I'm getting old. If we never, none of us planned this, which I think is what's really fun about it, is it's natural and it's happening, and we didn't know what we were doing, and I think there's a lot of good in that, a lot of hard, but also a lot of good.
Yeah, we're not restaurateurs. We're just people that really like pizza, and we really like people. So,
I think that's the basis of being a good restaurateur.
Yeah.
Right. Loving what you make and loving the people that are actually going to come there and eat it.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. And a commitment to pizza is not a bad commitment.
Yeah, I agree. I don't regret it. So,
so what made you pick Midtown as your location when you were looking to, pretty much establish roots somewhere?
We looked at several different spaces in the downtown, midtown area. We knew we wanted to be downtown-ish, so really what sold us on our space that we have now is the rooftop.
I thought it might be that rooftop.
It wasn't a rooftop,
fun.
so they were building it out, and they had completely different plans for the space since it's like at the far, it's back away, so it's hard to find, and I still hear that to this day. We don't know where you are, but
it's
the
possibility. Where are you?
The possibility of having a rooftop is really what
caught our attention. And we're like, maybe that would work.
Yeah, my dad is a landscaper by trade, and so we like outdoor spaces and like to be outside, and so the ability to have such a large rooftop and such a large full service dining rooftop and be one of the only ones in Oklahoma City to have that was really a big selling point for us.
I love that rooftop.
Yeah, and I like that space, and I think whenever you walk in there, it's like really well done. I love the pizza that hangs from the that's your lighting. That's good.
We had someone the other day and their reservation request, literally right in there, can we please eat under the first Z or something like that.
First Z in the pizza
and
lights.
it's table 43. I mean, we have table numbers, obviously.
That's
and that's
hilarious.
where they have their first date and now they're married or something.
That's
but they literally were like, can we sit under the first Z? And, screenshots of this reservation went around the restaurant because we were like, I'm sorry, what?
That's awesome.
But that's cute. So if you're listening, that's cute.
Next time you want to sit under a letter requested in your resume.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a lot of things you request. I can't promise you'll get them.
Sit under the letter Z.
That's so funny. So I do feel like we've kind of established what sets Halls apart. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you feel like with all the different pizza places and just restaurants in general in Oklahoma City, what really sets Halls apart from the rest, do you think?
Yeah. I mean, even when we started, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, depending on food truck and restaurant, or 7 years ago, it was already stiff competition with pizza. There's already a lot of good pizza in this city, and we knew that, which is another reason why Midtown was huge for us, is we didn't want to start our restaurant brand stepping on someone else's toes. So we tried to give it space, and Midtown was the one that didn't have pizza yet, basically. So it worked out nicely. But I think for us, as far as the product goes, we have flavors and combinations and toppings that you crave day in and day out. So quote unquote normal with old world techniques. It's kind of the way we put it. So it's that wood fired oven, but you don't get we do have Italian flavors and old world reminiscent, toppings, but it's things you crave, which is really big for us if we make a pizza and try it and then think about it in a few minutes, think about it a couple hours and want it the next day, it's probably going on the menu. If we don't think about it, it's not going on. So those craveable things that you want day in and day out, nothing too crazy. So but also keeping it exciting. And so we do a new pizza every Monday, right? To make sure that there's always something fresh. We do
so
3
every
menus.
Monday, a brand new pizza.
We did that last year. We haven't.
We're doing it.
We're doing it this year. Yeah.
Like, yeah, we are.
We are.
It
Mom
worked
and I have
really
been
well.
working on it.
It worked really well last year. But yeah, and a new menu 3 times a year, which is a huge undertaking for us as an entire team. But that's just big for us. So I think that sets us apart. But also, we love taking care of people. And so our goal is when you step in, our mission is to create memorable experiences for every guest. So we say that every day in pre-shift. And we get it right a lot of times and we get it wrong, maybe more, hopefully not. But we really hope when you walk in the door that it's an experience and that it's memorable and that it's special. So someone coming back and saying, hey, we had our first date under the Z, to me is like music to my ears. That's the entire goal of hopefully, you're coming in for the food, but I hope you also stay for the way you feel.
And remembering the fact that you were sitting under the Z, like that, I mean, then cool. It obviously was a memorable experience.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, new Pizza Monday. How do you come up with those pizzas? How do you keep the ideas fresh? I think that's like you were saying, that's a big undertaking.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up with a new slice, new pie. It's tough. You kind of feel like you're repeating ideas sometimes.
Yeah, and there's some pizzas that you're like, that seems very similar to one we did 6 months ago.
And our staff will call it out. They'll be like, we've had this. And I'm like, guys,
well, actually,
stop,
this
okay?
one didn't have olives on it. The other one had olives on it.
You change one thing, and it's a new pizza.
It's a new pizza.
Exactly.
No, my mom is really good about doing research and not looking at just pizza ideas, but also just food in general. My mom really loves to look at food trends and what's popular, what's going to be popular, in like coming months and years. And so we'll travel and try different restaurants and say, oh man, this was awesome. Let's try and recreate this, or let's kind of take our own spin on something.
That's really cool. Does your mom have just a passion for food, or did she do something professionally or studied it? Like, how does she get all this energy for food?
She, as Molly was talking about, she loves hospitality. And so hospitality in food is what brings people together, and the ability to be hospitable to people. She was a stay-at-home mom when we were growing up, and then when Molly graduated from high school, she went and did the Francis Tuttle culinary program, and so that's technically the only training she's ever had. And it was just kind of a little career tech
like
program,
a hobby type thing, or is it?
She actually did it with. They do a program for high school students, and so I'm not 100% sure how all of it works, but it was like a 4 or 5 day a week, half day thing. And
That's
so
fun.
For a couple of years.
It's like a 2-year program.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got a lot of people at the restaurant who've done it. So it's a great program. But she also, growing up, she was always in the kitchen. She always cooking, always. She's got more than her 10,000 hours in it. And really, it's amazing. She loves people through food, which I think is amazing. And I wish I had more of that talent.
Yeah. She is notorious for making something that's awesome. And you're like, wow, Mom, that was so good. And then you'll never see it again because she's like moved on to the next thing
and
that
she
she
doesn't
wants.
remember how she made it because she's like, I just threw stuff together.
Yes, all the time.
Like that, it was really good. We
like,
could have used that. Could have made money off that.
No, she's great, and she's our culinary director at the restaurant, and she's like the mom that everybody wants to have.
So she tells us when the bathrooms aren't clean.
Yeah.
It's one of our front of house manager's goals to never hear that from her this year.
Yeah, she's like,
we're doing good so far.
That's awesome.
The bathrooms
1 month
It's
in.
February and our bathrooms are still clean. Well, they're always clean, but they're just not mom level clean, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So
She's got the mom
level.
the mom aspect to our restaurant.
That's so awesome. Yeah. So let's go back to the pizza classes. Tell us about those, and if people are interested in them. And I know they go really fast.
If people are interested in them, you just have to stock it, and, and
we're trying to
hopefully
help
they're not
with
sold
this.
out.
No, I think it's funny. So I would say this. I almost pulled the plug on it. I'd had sat on the idea for a little bit, and we originally did them in December, or posted about it in December as a Christmas present for January. Like the event was in January, but we sold them in December, if that makes sense. And I was overwhelmed and busy at work, and the day we were supposed to do it, I was like, let's just not. There's no way it's going to sell. I don't want to push an event that like has no energy behind it. And it sold so fast.
Several hours.
Yeah, I mean, it was like
maybe the next
gone.
day.
No, it was, that day. And so I was like,
I
well,
think
we
it was
might as
that
well. Yeah, he's keeping track. And I was like, well, we might as well.
10 hours into the.
Yeah, we were like, so we're like, do another one, but we also didn't know if the first one would work. So we're like, well, we'll find out. We'll make it work, So sold the other one. It sold out faster because people had a heads up that time. Mm-hmm. And so we did it, made sure it worked. And then we launched another one for after Valentine's Day. It's like a Valentine's date. And so they were really fun. And so we'll probably keep them. They're a lot of work, is what I will say.
What, 10 minutes?
13. And we were having, I was watching it, and we were having technical difficulties.
Yeah,
I was supposed to be posting the link, and it would not let me post it, and it still sold out, which people had to go and copy and paste it. And I was like, I think I would have given up at this point.
I did that, and I think I was at that 13-minute mark because I remember 8:13, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're sold out.
Yeah, so I'm honored that people want to. It's one of the things I've always had on my list. There's a couple like bucket list items I want to get done, and that's always been one. Just again, we want people to have an experience with us. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to take, if you love our restaurant, which thank you, but to be able to take that to that next level of getting to experience it with us.
So much fun. Like, is it everything from rolling out the dough, or do you toss the dough?
Yeah, rolling or pushing out.
Yeah, we don't technically toss it. I mean, some of our people do, but not in the class.
It's not like a big thing for us. And then you make it.
Maybe
I
should be in the class. I'm going to toss the dough.
There you go. You can show us.
Watch me, guys.
So we walk through all that. We send you home with recipes. It's a full meal too, so like starters, which was really fun, and
cool.
Getting to know people around you, which was fun this last time. And then we have the food truck on site. We bring it on, and then you can cook the pizza in the oven, so you get that wood fired
in the food
oven.
truck. Yeah, nice.
So you can come see the cement countertops.
Nice.
If you would like. That we talked about earlier.
That's really cool. And I think the fact that these are so popular, I think, is a testament, because people come there and they experience that hospitality, and they're like, ooh, I can take some of this home.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's really cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I love it. So for someone, if there is anyone left, that has never been to Hall's Pizza.
There are. Yeah.
People come in and they will say, have you been in before? And they're like, no.
Yeah, that's one of our staff things, is we just ask a lot. Like either a host or a server generally asks, hey, have you been in before?
They do ask that every time.
So I'm sorry if you've been asked. Some people will be like, oh, I'm all the time. I'm sorry.
I don't want to sound like the person that's like, oh, I've been here.
Yeah,
they even ask our best friends, so it's okay.
Yeah, but it's shocking.
It's
like the other day, I was seating someone at a table, and I was like, "We haven't been here before," and they were. I think I was probably rude because they were like, "No, I haven't been here," and I was like, "Where'd you come from?" But it's really fun.
You live under a rock.
But it's super fun. So I got to run over to the server and be like, "Hey, they're brand new." Like, and it's just fun to get to walk you through and like talk you through everything, and you're fresh.
Because you want to introduce them to the menu, and that's what's fun. Is to be able to like guide them through like, these are my favorite things. This is what's most popular, and
because if someone's been there, they're like, "Ooh, this is what I want."
They know what they like.
So it's really fun when you get to like recommend things. Like, this is my favorite.
I mean, I feel like, so my sister, she lives in Moore, and she never travels to Oklahoma City unless it's my birthday and I've picked a restaurant to go to. And so I would say there's a lot of people like that live on the South Side that they just stay there, live way north, and they just stay there. So, we just got to get everybody to come inwards.
We agree. Yeah.
We like it when people come see us.
But the question was,
so for those that have never come to you, what are some must-try menu items?
So what do you tell those first-timers?
Yeah.
So our most popular starter is going to be the Quinn's Burrata.
It's our most popular item across the board.
Not surprising.
Other than pizza.
I think it beats it.
No, it beats Saturday night. Saturday night beats it.
We won't have a disagreement on a podcast.
I'm going to look at that.
I wrote down the Quinn's Burrata because...
But that's the thing people walk in and talk about.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're going to talk about pizza.
Yeah.
It's pizza kitchen.
Other than pizza, it's the most popular item.
It's become famous on this podcast.
But you get it. Yeah, it has. It really has. You get a little taste of that pizza with that though, because you get the wood fired bread. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's amazing. Every single thing about it is amazing.
Yeah.
Every single thing about it.
Sorry. Continue. What else?
When you get that on the pizza itself, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
Yeah.
The pizza, the Quinn pizza.
The Quinn pizza, yeah. So for all those who not listen, or who didn't know, who are listening, there we go. You can order the Quinn's Burrata as a pizza.
And for those who don't know what the Quinn's Burrata is.
So the Quinn's Burrata is burrata and prosciutto that is drizzled with Calabrese olive oil and truffle honey, and we serve it with probably the best wood-fired flatbread you've ever had in your entire life.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
When it's warm.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. All right, so what's another menu item?
So my favorite starter is the bacon jam and pimento cheese.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we added that on about a year and a half ago, and it is giving the Quins Abroad a run for its money. It will never be there, but it's really
It'll never be
It's
there.
I eat
fire-roasted
it. I had it for
jalapeno
lunch
pimento
today.
cheese
Yeah,
with bacon jam on top. And when people ask what bacon jam is, Molly always wants to say,
it's bacon jam. Those are 2 words you should definitely understand. I understand.
just combine them and that's what it is.
There's something, I'm not very good at describing food. That's why she answered that question. But I'm like, literally.
I mean, what does it sound like?
Yeah.
Bacon.
It sounds good. So
jam.
just eat it. No, but that one, if you've come and not had that, you absolutely have to.
Also
have that
served
next
with
time.
wood-fired flatbread.
Yeah, we have a lot of flatbread and a lot of cheese.
A lot of flatbread and a lot of cheese.
Nice.
We clearly like those 2 things.
Yeah. So pizza-wise, the Saturday night is our first pizza we ever made because we would eat pizza as a family on Saturday nights. So that's where that came from. So you have to have that. Then the company is our second one on the menu. And that's what we would make when guests were coming over on Saturday night. So the company pizza.
What's on that
That's
one?
awesome.
So it's a 4-meat pizza. So Italian sausage, Canadian bacon, and pepperoni. Wow, almost forgot. And so we used to just open up the fridge and throw whatever meats we had. It's now set in place what you're going to get.
Change it.
And then the Matt is the first vegetarian pizza we made when my cousin became a vegetarian in college. When he would come over.
Matt.
Yes. He would come over and
I
we
love
had to
these
have
names.
something. Yeah, they're very simple. And also, honestly, we're getting worse and worse at names. Like the new pizza yesterday, can I make fun of it?
The red?
It was called The Red. And it was...
Because it's red sauce?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have any cheese on. Well, it does have cheese. It has shaved Parmesan on it, but there's no
that explains a lot. Yeah.
There's no mozzarella.
There's no
or
mozzarella.
anything.
So
So
it
it's-
looks red.
It was
still,
all red.
But it's called The Red. So we're not getting any more creative with our names over here.
When you're creating 52 pizzas a year and you're naming 52 pizzas a year,
That's
No.
The Red.
It was great. It was tasty. I had it.
That's really funny. I love that.
But yeah, so Saturday night, the Blanco is this is bad. I call it the bougie cheese. It's a 3 cheese, but
There's no red sauce. It's just a Calabrese olive
that's
oil.
what she came up with. It's super
garlic,
good.
fresh mozzarella,
Yeah,
smoked
all
sea
of our
salt.
pizzas, you have to get the secret sauce with it.
Yes, that was going to be my...
Yeah.
Tell us about the secret sauce.
Well, it's a secret. We can't tell
Yeah.
you. That's my joke that I tell the tables.
Yeah.
But then I'll tell you it's a creamy jalapeno ranch.
Oh, okay.
It's a fresh ranch is what
We make it all
we make it
in-house.
all in house, and so it's got fresh herbs in it.
See, that's interesting to describe it as a jalapeno ranch. Because, like,
You wouldn't have described it as that.
I wouldn't have because I...
No one does. That's just what we call it,
I
honestly.
associated those flavor profiles with... it was very close to, like raita that we used to have. That was with, like, some mint, some cilantro, yogurt... and it tastes very similar to that too. So that's interesting that you describe it as a jalapeno ranch. But it is so good.
I've not had the secret sauce.
Oh wow!
You have to
I'm
have
sorry I
it.
didn't bring you any. I would have.
What are you
I would
doing
have brought
tonight
you
after
some.
this?
Yeah.
You want to go get pizza?
No,
We can go get some pizza and
Don't
secret
joke.
sauce.
Yeah.
I'll go back to work.
Be there this
I
week.
live down the street from there now.
Yeah, and then we also have an in-house pastry team who our pastry chef is incredible. So you always have to quote unquote save room. I hate that saying, but we don't let our staff say it. Save room for dessert. You have to. So our salted caramel chocolate chip cookie is our most popular sweet. That's in there. We have a bakery case full of things we bake every day, and then we also have like from the kitchen sweets. So a rotating cheesecake that's fabulous. We have a butterscotch pot de creme right now.
Ooh,
That is not my
that's-
type of thing normally.
I love
but I was thinking
butterscotch.
today
It
about
is
how I want one.
fantastic.
And then in the summer we do strawberry shortcake. So it changes on when you're coming in. but
Right.
I've also heard this birthday cake is amazing.
Oh,
But I
That's a
haven't had that
weekend,
yet.
Fridays and
Yeah.
Saturdays. We have 2 different cakes in the case, and they're very good. Staff, we never get them because we're not allowed to have those.
because they sell out really
They sell
fast.
out.
We'd rather
and so
save them for the
we
guests.
never get them, but they're
They're like,
very
can I get
good.
some? No.
That might be what I say.
Your
Fine.
employee
I
meal
quit.
does not
Can I get
count.
one now?
I feel like, yeah, our staff eats literally everything else, and then those 2 things we're like, guys, gotta save these for the guests.
if it's
So
like
I'm very jealous when people come in
Yeah,
and order
it's
it.
like a Friday or Saturday night and we're closing and there's a slice of cake left. It's gone very quickly because the team wants to eat it.
That's funny.
That is funny.
So we've also talked about on the podcast the Saturday brunch that you guys do. I've not yet. Have you gone yet? I know
I
you've
have
talked
not.
about it.
I've talked about it because the wood-fired bagels
Yeah.
sound fantastic.
They're awesome.
And I had one in Montreal.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, these bagels are so good. So I really want to try it, but I haven't made it in for
Well,
brunch yet.
Saturday's coming. Today's
Saturday's
Tuesday.
coming. I'll be out of town, though.
Oh, what are you doing the next Saturday?
I'll be here.
Okay, great. We'll see you then.
All right, I'll see you at the restaurant.
Yeah. So our pastry chef Alyssa does all of our bagels, and she does cinnamon rolls too. But every Saturday she makes a special cream cheese. So she did like a caramel macchiato that was awesome. She'll do them seasonally, so I'm sure she'll do like probably a chocolate covered strawberry cream cheese with Valentine's coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wood-fired bagels, we do too. We have a plain, and then we have a pink peppercorn and black sesame bagel right now.
Interesting.
That
That sounds
sounds
really good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, wood-fired bagels. That was like a revelation when I tried it. Because it was apparently from like the oldest bagel shop there.
Oh, how
and there's
fun.
like a bagel war where like, is this one better or is that one better? I don't know. But
Yeah. It's also really hard to find like a truly homemade bagel of any
Yeah.
sort.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm
that
excited
sounds
to try
good.
it 2 weeks
have-
from now.
We've got a couple of brunch pizzas on the menu and a avocado, what we call avocado toast dish. It's avocado toast, or our take on avocado toast on a pizza. And so
Nice.
It's
Lots of
I've
fun
had
stuff.
a avocado pizza before. I don't know if y'all's is like this, but it had like, I don't know what kind of sauce it was. It wasn't a red sauce, but then lots of arugula and then slices of avocado. I actually just scrolled past that picture. It was a place in Houston. So tell me about yours. I love avocados. So
Yeah. So it's got fresh avocado that's kind of seasoned with some fresh lime and salt and pepper, and then it's got a sunny side egg, and then we do we call it a Sunday morning salad, and it's an arugula salad with some goat cheese.
that my mom makes on Sunday
Sunday
mornings.
It's actually called Mom's Sunday Morning Salad. It's got some red onion on it, and then we dress it with Aleppo chili pepper. That's one of our favorite spices
Nice.
right now, and so
that sounds really good.
Very fresh. It's probably one of the freshest things, or like lightest things we have on the menu.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That
we had to
definitely
actually
sounds down
dial
my
our staff back because they were all ordering them with like the cutoff for staff food on Saturdays, and the kitchen was like, "We're done making eggs.
We're tired of
So
you
we've had
making
that
your
in
avocado
pre-shift,
toast.
yeah, because we're all obsessed with it. But I find that whatever the staff is obsessed with is like the
What
thing
the
you really
customers
want to
eat.
order.
Yeah.
So
And it's always a good sign when staff is excited about the food coming out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
that's the goal.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's why we
Yeah.
feed them a lot. So
Well, awesome. Do you have any other questions? You want to do the kitchen sink?
Oh, I can't think of any. I'm sure there'll be more.
Right?
Like, when's the next pizza class?
I don't know.
Insider
A little bird told me maybe April. So
And it's going to be April Fool's. You didn't get reservations again.
we'll open the link up to you before. We sold some tickets beforehand, so that might have been the secret. But some certain people got the link, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
That's funny.
All right. So, your mom is obviously a great cook and loves to cook at home. Do the two of you like to cook at home?
yeah, I love to cook.
Yeah.
I always joke I did not get the good cooking genes, but I love to cook for people. So
Okay.
I normally am cooking, but
What would you say is your favorite ingredient?
Well, we were talking through the questions earlier, and I said I was going to say salt, and she said, well, that's what I was going to say, but I'll let her use salt.
yeah, no, I just got some Malden salt in my stocking for Christmas upon special request because I hadn't had flaky salt.
Nice.
And so I cook breakfast for our leadership team meeting every week because I think good meetings need good food.
Yeah.
And so I always use breakfast, or I always make breakfast food. And so I
Nice.
feel like it needs a really good flaky salt. And I
Yeah.
Some finishing
requested that. I
Yeah.
knew my mom
Yeah,
would
that's what
buy
it
me.
is.
Yeah, exactly. I knew my mom would buy that for me. So
salt. Nice. I
What's
actually
your
bought some of
favorite?
that for myself for Christmas. Because I was
did
like,
you?
I need to try this.
It's great.
I'm a
Yeah,
big fan.
like
I've
that
used it a
crunch
lot.
you get from it. It's, yeah.
She put it on some cookies for the Super Bowl party.
Oh, I bet
nice.
that was good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. What's your favorite ingredient?
Well, I would probably say salt too.
Which is so boring.
I
but
know, but it's the thing
I like
that
the regular
adds
table
flavor.
salt.
Iodine.
No, I like sea salt. Actually, probably smoked sea salt would be
Oh, yeah.
one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorites. Smoked sea salt on a pizza, I think, is so delicious if you put it on the crust before you bake it. But at home, I would honestly say salt because if you're making something that doesn't have enough salt in it, it
doesn't taste
it doesn't taste
the
good.
point?
And so, yeah.
What's the point?
My friends joke that if we're eating out at a restaurant when we're traveling, I'll be like, oh man, it just needs a little bit of salt. When I was in Italy this last year, and my friend and I joked that nobody in Italy, they don't leave salt on the table. And so I was constantly being like, can I get some salt? Because everything just needs a little bit more salt.
You like reach into your purse and ask them finishing salt.
I know.
I bought my mom a little traveling salt. It's
From
like
Jacobson.
Yeah.
Which when I was in Italy, I wished I would have had that.
That's
It would
really
have been
funny.
perfect.
That's really funny. What's your favorite thing to cook other than pizza?
I already said I cook breakfast food.
Breakfast
Once a
food,
week, I'm always
yeah.
making breakfast food. So
Mine changes. For probably like a year, it was breakfast food. And I would, if I was making dinner for people or making a meal, it was breakfast.
I was cooking breakfast.
you're
Yeah.
really into cakes. I mean,
I really
that's not
do
cooking,
love.
I
That's
guess,
not.
but
Yeah, I love to bake cakes,
Cookies.
cookies.
Are you good at decorating cakes?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
A certain style though, but
Yeah, I don't decorate like.
Right. I feel like
I have a
that's
certain style that I really
where
like.
I lack. Like I love baking, I love cooking, but then when it comes to decorating, and I'm an artist.
I was
Like, I'm
gonna
a
say
painter.
you should be good at it because
I'm
you're
a
an artist.
painter, but icing is just so difficult.
Yeah. I love, so I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Pollyanna, but there's a scene, it's a probably 1950s or 60s movie, but there's a scene in Pollyanna where she's at a county fair and she gets this slice of cake that's like 6 or 7 inches tall and it's like 3 or 4 or 5 layers. And in my mind, like that is the most, like the epitome of beauty right there. That really tall, thick slice of cake. So I love cake.
It's nice.
I'm always laughing at me.
the epitome of beauty.
I love it.
I'm going to go home and watch
She was
Pollyanna.
so engrossed
it.
in that scene. She was like,
It's a thing of beauty.
So I like to make tall cakes.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
Not short cakes.
nice. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. What is your favorite snack food? Now, pizza can technically be a snack.
No, anyone who knows me, this is not classy at all. Well, I think it's classy. Anyone who knows me, I love the extra toasty Cheez-Its, and I constantly have a box very close to my person. So, yeah.
If you ever need to get Molly a gift, extra toasty.
That's what it is.
just
They're
the
in
way
my
to go.
car. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So
That's so funny.
Any particular flavor of Cheez-Its?
the toasty, the extra
Just
toasty.
extra toasty,
That's
okay.
it.
That
I,
is
don't,
the
I do not
flavor.
eat any others. They're like the extra dark ones, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, I don't like any other
Get
ones.
that crunch, get that
I
crisp.
don't think I've had those.
Oh,
Well,
you're
yeah.
missing out.
Because I love
Gotta go to the store.
everything extra crunchy, extra toasted.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
not-
imagine.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Hello.
I had a breakup, and my friend showed up at my door with Cheez-Its. So that's how into it I am. They're
That's
like,
awesome.
Molly needs to be cheered up. Here's some Cheez-Its.
But it's like also Molly's having a great day.
Here's some Cheez-Its. It's your birthday, Cheez-Its. Christmas, Cheez-Its. So I'm easy
It
to
works
please.
for everything.
Yeah. So yeah.
Mine would be chips and queso.
Nice.
I'm big
Do
fan
you
of
have
queso.
a favorite queso around Oklahoma City?
Oh, that's a good question. I love white queso, and I've heard that the Deep Deuce white queso is really good. I haven't tried it yet. It's on my list of things to do this month.
I don't think I've tried it.
But Big Truck Tacos queso is probably my
Theirs is good.
current favorite. Theirs is really, really good.
I recently, well, I guess it's been a little while, Frida's queso.
Oh, I haven't tried that
That
yet.
was really good.
Okay, I've got to go.
It's like extra stringy. So
oh,
it's not like,
Fundito?
yeah.
Ah, nice. I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah. I liked it.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about extra stringy queso. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be trouble.
Yeah.
No, it's
Getting it chipped
just,
to your mouth.
it's so good.
I'm-
like, just
I'm
get
just-
it everywhere. It's so good.
That's funny.
All right. What is your favorite food, show, or movie?
So we both had the same answer for this as well, but Ina
Clearly
Garten,
sisters.
Barefoot Contessa, of course, food show. I also had a large obsession with Rachel Ray growing up.
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen a lot of her. So she's my like childhood food crush.
Yeah.
I've never made anything from Ina Garten that was bad.
Right.
Like everything I've ever made of hers
She's so
is
classy.
awesome.
Yeah.
I want to be her when I
Cute.
grow up.
Yeah, me too.
Nice. What country or region do you think has the best food scene?
Yeah. This is hard. I mean, the obvious answer for us is probably Italy.
Yeah.
But I had one of my most favorite meal experiences. So I love food, but I also really love the experience around a meal. So I had one of the best meal experiences of my life in Paris last year at a restaurant called Pink Mama. And it was like, I'll never forget the entire like experience. There's 5 floors. Well, there was a secret speakeasy downstairs. You had to find it. Like, we just heard someone behind us kind of talking about it. So my friend and I who were there literally went downstairs and watched these girls like try and open cabinets to try and find it. It sounds very weird. It was the most magical thing. And so we it's literally, there's a bathroom and then it's a cooler. It's like a walk-in. So it's like you're walking through the walk-in and then you walk into a speakeasy. Yeah, it was kind of sketchy. We opened the walk-in door, just like a big metal door. And I was like, this could be really bad. Like, we're in Paris.
2 girls
Gonna
in
be
Paris.
abducted.
Yeah, I have no idea what's
Taken
behind
3.
this door. I have a video of us opening the door, like, what? And it was a secret speakeasy. And then the entire meal, every floor has like a different, y'all have seen it on Instagram. I mean, it's been posted about, but a lot. But every floor has this different, like, and it was Italian food. So that is, I guess, not straying too far.
Right.
So that to me was the most magical experience. So Paris was a lot of fun.
So did you have to go floor to floor? Or was it that you were just kind of pick one and sit there?
They sat you. So yeah, we didn't have anything to do. So it was like an hour-long wait. And we're like, great, we're in Paris. There's literally nothing to do tonight. So let's just wait around. And so they just sat us on what happened to be a beautiful floor, this beautiful Italian tile and greenery. And it was, I love the experience of eating.
That
and
sounds
so
amazing.
That was great. But I also had a similar experience in Italy, like in a basement with, brick floors and walls and just that cozy, super simple. Like, there's really nothing crazy about it, but that super simple experience. And of course, good food, good pasta, good pizza. We're more pizza people, but
like simple and authentic. Right?
Yeah. So, anyways, that was my answer, I guess.
Yeah.
But
mine would also be Italy as well. I was there in October, and we stumbled upon this little restaurant in Rome that was literally sat maybe 25, 30 people all on high top tables. They had wine covering the walls, and outside it had just this gorgeous ivy that was growing around. And the host and the hostess were the owners, and they were also managers.
Cool.
And so they were younger. They were probably, mid 40s or so. And so they, would seat you and then also get you your drinks. And but there I had a crostini that had burrata and mortadella on it with some crushed pistachios. And I love burrata and I love mortadella, and it's fun to have mortadella in Italy. And we went there for dinner one night. I loved it. I ate every crostini on the plate. It was so good. The next day we went back for lunch, and I got the exact same thing all over again.
Nice.
And so,
you knew it was
and it was
amazing.
one of those places. It was like we were looking for a place close by. It wasn't on any of the lists of research of restaurants we had looked up, but ended up being one of my favorites, and I follow him on Instagram
That's
now,
awesome.
and I think about that crostini.
yeah, I don't know if this is just my perspective or this is valid or not, but I think overseas or Italy, Paris, they're not trying super hard.
Right.
And I think that's just refreshing when it's like this is working for them, but they're not trying to be the new.
It's like this
Yeah.
is
Maybe
who
they
we
are, and I just don't know
Yeah.
it. But
This is who we are. This is what we serve. Like,
it's
we're proud of
laid
what we
back,
make.
and there's something that sets the scene for a really good experience.
So you touched on something that I was going to ask. Like, do you do a lot of research before you go about the places you want to eat? Because you like, hey, we stumbled upon this place that wasn't researched. So like, do you think there's a balance to that, or do you just research the heck out of places and you have, I gotta hit this, I gotta eat this, I gotta do this, I gotta eat this?
I think you have to research it, especially overseas, because you don't here. I can tell when a restaurant's quote unquote cool or not,
Right.
you know, or like what I'm looking for. But overseas, I feel like you lose that ability. So you're like, am I in Touristville? I don't know, or am I in somewhere that's local, or like the owners meeting them? I think you have to research it. At least from my experience, you do. But then also be flexible enough. What my friend and I did, it was all her actually, but we just put them all the places we wanted to go from blogging. That's really where we find. I always look at bloggers because you can kind of tell if you like what they're doing. You know, where do they go, and what are they kind of the same feel? Anyways, we put it all on a map, and then if we would just be in the area, we just pull up the map and be like, well, that restaurant that was on that one blog, I don't remember where it came from. But it's in this neighborhood, so let's just go over there. So pretty flexible, but we found it. I found that you have to.
Before I went to Italy, I told my friend that I was traveling with, I was like, I don't want to waste any meals. Like, I don't want to eat a meal and be like, that wasn't very good. And so, yeah, we did.
I could have gotten something so much better.
Yeah, I don't want to waste that meal that I had in Italy. So.
Yeah, I mean, I research the heck out of places. So when I go, I'm like, I gotta eat here. And not waste a meal. Yeah. Sometimes you squeeze in extra meals just to be able to eat everything.
Right. Always. All right, and this will be the last question, possibly the hardest. What is your favorite restaurant in OKC?
Definitely not the hardest.
No.
Tamashi is my favorite.
Nice.
That's where I go probably way too often. It's actually been a few weeks, which is very sad. But I used to live super close, and I still live close, but not as close.
Well, it kind of got warm these past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. Anyways, and so
it's one of my favorites.
Go for takeout, and that's what we used to live like 3 minutes from there, and so we would just get takeout because it's like, why wait now? You know.
Yeah.
And my friends and I always love that. So we'll be like, oh, we're gonna go do something fun this Friday night. You know, like look cute, do something great. And then we just order Tamashi and sit on the floor, and I'm as happy as can be. So
nice.
But yeah.
Good answer. What about you, Elise?
Mine is probably Cheevers. Cheevers just holds a special place in my heart. We go there for celebrations or, just a random, Tuesday lunch or whatever. But Cheevers always holds good memories, and the food's really good, and it's cozy and warm. And so Cheevers.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think both of those are excellent choices.
Those are good spots.
Yeah,
solid.
for sure.
Thank you for approving of my foods in Oklahoma City.
Well, thank you again so much, Molly and Elise, for joining us. And you can follow Hall's Pizza on social media on
Instagram at the Hall's Pizza.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. And while you're there, make sure you're following us at OKC Foodcast on Instagram and Facebook. And if you'd like to collaborate or send in some listener feedback, you can email us at okcfoodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button so you know when the next episode drops. And be sure to leave us a rating if you enjoyed this episode and this conversation with Hall's Pizza. And write a review. Those help a lot, and we love hearing from you.
Absolutely. And go and get yourself some delicious pizza from
and
Hall's.
Quinn's burrata.
And Quinn's burrata. Do not leave without that burrata. And until next time, friends, eat well and be happy. Bye.